Hello and welcome back to episode number 8 of the Aurora C Sharp Let's Play series Uncut Season 3 as Mongolia. We've been attacked. Our ship, the the MSS Chakravati, was attacked by missiles and brought down in the system of Chengdu. In response, we are preparing to develop our military with a lot of build points that we currently have available, and we are looking to hopefully be able to strike back in the near future. Now, commenters in the last episode number 7, I believe, mentioned the fact that we're probably going to have to wait until Ion Tech before we're realistically going to be comfortable with putting any kind of serious force together. In that regard, I agree. If we want to be looking at boarding, if we want to be looking at other kind of faster forces, that is what we're going to need to do. Because our current information regarding our opponent, the current information that we gained from our unfortunate ship that went down, is that the enemy vessels are going at a speed of 5,053 kilometers per second. Now, we can reach above that, however, to do so would cause issues regarding speeds. Furthermore, I want to design a fleet that will actually work as a fleet and not just to beat this specific enemy. Because as some of you who are more experienced with the game may notice, we're playing, these are precursors. And if we have a look on the map here, I'm going to turn on specifically alien control systems. They are currently located in Chengdu, as stated. On Chengdu, we have two worlds, one nitrogen methane and one nitrogen oxygen. Both worlds could have the potential for quite a few resources, considering the fact they're both around Earth size. They are tidally locked, however, the nitrogen oxygen atmosphere means that, realistically speaking, all we would need to do, thanks to this temperature, is increase the oxygen by just a little bit, and we would have a completely habitable planet. And pretty close to Earth at that, which would provide a great foothold in an area with not that many actual habitable worlds nearby, something that is quite valuable. While on the other areas in the galaxy, up near Nanzhao, Haijian, Zhanyang, and other areas like that, if we turn on habitable range worlds, normal gravity, low cost, we can see that there are many low-cost worlds on this direction and far fewer over here. So, what is the plan? First off, we need to design ourselves a fleet, and generally speaking, when I first set out to do the Mongolian Let's Play, I wanted to do something with boarding, because we haven't done much boarding in the past, and I also wanted to do something with mesons. Now, there's going to be a few ideas here. My thinking is we're going to create a bit like, and I haven't played this series myself, but a bit like the Homeworld series, where we're going to have a big mothership, well, not a big mothership, but a ship that contains many different kinds of fighters and crafts that are going to, we're going to have meson swarms, and then we're going to have boarding fast attack crafts, and then we're going to have actual weapons on the ships themselves. And I want to build kind of these squadron-based forces around this particular ship that all support and do what's needed. The first thing we have to understand is in regards to the enemy vessels, they have missiles. 30,000 kilometers per second. That is scary. So far, they launched 24. We're going to need to calculate here what our capability would be, assuming the current speed of our ship. I would presume with a speed of about, I want to aim for a speed of about 6,000 kilometers per second to give us about 1,000 kilometers per second. I think we estimate this would kill about, what would that be, 12 missiles a tick? So I'm thinking, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to design a assault ship. Then I'm going to design escorts. These could be destroyers. Then I'm going to design fighter crafts. And then I'm going to design logistics for those. Because at the end of the day, we're going to need to be able to support this fleet. And it's going to be quite fuel hungry because we're going to be using a lot of boarding crafts in general. So let's have a look at how long it's going to take for our ion technology to arrive. We're currently researching that, I do believe. gas-cooled reactors are on the way, so that could be quite a ways off if we wanted to get forces down. So I am going to begin to redirect, where possible, research. We're also getting research into 60 engines, or size 60 engines. So yeah, size 60 engines, we're getting there, and we also want the gas-cooled reactor because that'll lead to the next upgrade for the power and propulsion. I'm thinking that in regards to this, we are also getting mesons up, and I want to see what's the biggest meson we can make, because that's going to affect size of a fighter. Meson cannon. 10 centimeter mesons, 150 tons. We could put that on a fighter, technically speaking. Which could then be used for swarming capabilities. The problem, of course, is going to be point defense. But if we get right on top of them, then we could kill them pretty easily in regards to that. Still, I'm not too happy with that idea. So I'm going to set a design goal. We're going to have 10 kiloton escorts, and then I want a 20 kiloton assault ship. What's our biggest shipyard right now? 25 kiloton. So 25 kiloton assault ship. We'll have 15 kiloton like in between cruisers or whatever, and then we're gonna have 10 kiloton for escorts. And in that regard, I am going to begin to add extra slipways onto this, and then also begin in constructing by taking away this, constructing extra naval shipyards, which we will also need. Modify 50%. Naval shipyard. I want three more of those, please. Thank you. How's our colonization going, though? Because that's also going to be very important here. We've got a mine set up over here. They're mining resources accordingly. We're also moving maintenance factories around and other things. But I want to actually get, like, outposts built. But we need an actual military fleet for that. Which is going to be harder to put together than set. So, what kind of tech do we have for sensors and fire control? So, going to try and get beam fire control 48,000. We'll wait for that to be done. I'm going to move you from a H cap. I'm going to put that into beam fire control, and then I'm going to put the rest. Put that into there. Should be able to make a decent ship. So we'll go for the escorts first, then we'll go for the hangar decks, and we can play around with that. What's our power boost technology looking like? We're looking at 2.5x. You know, we want to get as high power boost as possible because that will obviously make fighters a lot better. So we're going to do 5-day increments here, and just increment forward as we wait. The MSS Mistletoe is requiring new orders, so we'll give them that exactly. They're in Jin right now. Have you fully refueled? You are over your deployment time, so we're going to send you over to Sol. We're going to have you refuel, resupply, and begin an overhaul immediately. Want an inactive research facility? We will begin research of that. Then we'll do 5-day increments. But we should be able to get that sorted now-ish. In terms of our ground forces, what were we doing with that? Well, we have the planetary defense regiments, which is one thing. But we're going to need to look at what kind of situation we want in regards to general forces. This was something I was talking about on the Discord earlier today, was remembering that we're designing an army, but not just a formation. So we want to think about what our formations are going to do. Generally speaking, we want to have infantry formations for soaking damage. We want to have armored formations for doing damage, and then we want to have everything else to support those. That's the basic concept. And in this regard, I think that we're going to focus on light tanks, because there's a few things that light tanks do really, really well. So if you have a look at the hit modification here, we have a hit mod of 0.6, 0.4, 0.6, and 1. Infantry have a 60% modifier to getting hit on a base chance. So assume you have 100% chance to hit a target against a static target. With a 0.6, that means you've got 40% chance less to hit, thanks to them being infantry, the element type. With light vehicles, that's a further 20%. Combine this with the fact that light vehicles get a bonus with breakthrough, if we are capable of using quote unquote Mongol cavalry and having many light vehicles that we can spam and use to kill our opponents on the ground, that could be very useful. So I'm thinking of a strategy where we only really focus on infantry in regards to holding an area or supporting the light vehicles, and then we move our army into a primary vehicle army that's focusing on speed, low hit chances, and breakthroughs. That's going to be my opinion on that. Of course, we're waiting for tech, really, and this is kind of the part of the game you've got to always think about, is that a lot of it is going to be waiting for things to occur. We've got no significant threat currently facing us, because if you remember in the last Let's Play, which I do recommend you go check out, the German Empire 1, or Uncut Season 2, we came under fire almost immediately. So it's nice to have a little bit of breathing room. We're going to be able to get to Ion without too much of a problem. And that should hopefully be good for us. So we just got a boat base small, which is nice. Logistics-wise, got commercial hangar decks, refueling systems. Let's get underway replenishment, because that's going to be really important here. In terms of supporting our naval advances, there's a few things I want. So we already have tankers. That's fine. We have troop transports. That's fine. We're going to need resupply vessels, so maintenance supplies. We're going to need other support crafts, potentially a hospital ship, potentially other kinds of vessels. And so I am going to do a few things in regards to that by adding on some extra commercial shipyards. Now, one thing I do want to be careful of is not to overspend our resources. So what's our current mate stockpile looking like? Thorium not looking too good, however, Uridium is looking great, a lot of the other resources are looking great, and Galacite and Corundium aren't in the worst situation, though obviously Corundium is always going to be a problem. We can actually have a look at that now and see if we can find some Corundium. So let's go for 1,000, 10,100, 1 million. We're going to look for 1 million tons of Corundium with a 0.6 accessibility. Heizhou has 1.6 million tons of Corundium. We're on Heizhou A2, and that is going to be at 0.6 accessibility. Where's that in the universe? Heizhou. Heizhou is here. Okay, so we need to start stabilizing towards this location. Do you have a habitable planet? You do have a habitable planet. You have multiple habitable planets, and the Corundium is located on a place where we could colonize. So I'm going to order jump stabilization vessels, the Karas, to move towards which system is adjacent. Zhongdu. Okay, we're going to move to Zhongdu. So move to Zhongdu, then go into Tonghua. I will stabilize that jump point, and that will be good. And I'm also going to be increasing the shipyard sizes. So I'm gonna keep one at 1,000 tons for FACs or fast attack crafts, and then I'm going to increase you to 10,000 tons as well. I'll do 10,000 tons on that. 25,000 tons is enough for a big ship. Again, we want to first off, because we're starting from a very low point in terms of naval forces. We do have a lot of build points, so we can massively build up a naval force once we have the designs in place. I want to focus on designing around a single unit or group, a fleet group. So we're talking maybe 1 core ship, 6 escorts, and then 3 logistics. So maybe 10 ships total in a single one of these groups, and then we can combine multiple groups to create an entire regional fleet. And that's kind of the system that I'm going to be going for in regards to it. The mistletoe has completed its overhaul. Let's have a look at the map and let's see where we can send that to. I'm thinking we're going to send that to Karakatai, just because Karakatai is quite close and we haven't fully sorted surveying of that out in regards to the survey location. Cargo Group 2 has completed orders. Now, Cargo Group 2, I'm not sure what you were specifically moving. I think you were moving mines. If I were to look, were we moving mines? Yes, we were moving mines. So we currently have quite a few unemployed workers here, but we are mining sodium and we're turning that into fuel, and that means that we're able to produce 2.15 million liters of fuel from Zhongdu A2, which is really, really nice. And if we have a look at the fuel production we're getting over on Earth, it's actually more than we're getting on Earth. So the hope is that we can continue to build up Zhongdu A2, and by doing so, with the amount of sodium we have, we can ship that back to the core world, to other places, and use it, use the sodium and the fuel that we have for various purposes. We have a significant stockpile actually here of both thorium, magnesium, and uranium. So I want to use thorium, so I am going to sell a reserve here. So you double click and sell a reserve. So that will keep 2,000 tons of thorium on the planet at all times. But I want to move the rest of the resources back to the core world. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have Power Group 2 take one of these, and we're going to rename you to Mineral Transport Group Transport Fleet 2. I'm then going to have you head directly over towards Zhongdu. You're going to load all load/unload minerals. Load all minerals until full. I think no, I want to make sure you're loading to reserve. So load all minerals to reserve level. I think that should be fine. I'm not sure. I don't remember doing it like this, but I think it should be okay. You're gonna go here. You're then going to head back to Seoul. You're going to unload all minerals, and then you're going to do a cycle move for that. We want to make sure we also do a refuel as well, just so that they don't run out of fuel. So we're going to be moving you back and forth, and I also want to have a tanker doing that as well. I want to grow the population here as much as I can because I want to continue to put refineries on here and double its capacity. So if we have colony ships, we don't have colony ships. Did I put you on Civ Eco? No, Destination Colonist, you're fine. You're stable. You're stable. We should hopefully have people moving over to Zhongdu A2, but we'll see. The colony ships aren't really doing too much, which is a bit concerning. Looks an old survey, uranium, magnesium. Production of naval shipyards has completed. I'm going to keep this 1,000 ton yard if I need anything extra that I'm going to be thinking about. Let's give it a new jump point in Karakatai. That's very important to know. 20 centimeter mesons, which is nice. Energy weapons at 25 centimeters. We're going to go for 25 centimeter meson next. But we'll probably be using pretty small mesons overall to begin with. We are growing this population as we go on here, but it's slower than I would want. Gas core reactor should be done in about 4 years. We're gonna get our beam fire control rating done this year, and then also gonna get the maximum engine size done in a couple years. Lily of the Valley completed orders. I'm going to order the Lily of the Valley to head to Karakatai, and then I want to explore the new jump point that we just found. Okay, this gives us another Baikal. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, quite an interesting system. We have a oxygen atmosphere world that could host a potential NPR. You can note this because NPRs can't spawn on worlds with oxygen levels below 0.5. However, NPRs can, so spoilers can. NPRs can't. It is a bit frozen though, minus 122 degrees, so I doubt a civilization could survive on that, but it is possible. We then have a nitrogen CO2 world, which has a pretty nice temperature. However, obviously, there's a lot of CO2 in the world, and it's a pretty big planet. We have a single gas giant, we have 2 gas giants, and then a dwarf, and then a 6th terrestrial nitrogen methane world. With 50 billion max pop potential there. We'll see if we can detect anything. We might do, and that would be concerning because of how close this system is. We don't want to obviously cause any massive issues. Slipway expansion completed for our smallest 1,000 ton yard. That's fantastic. Let's add an active slipway there. And the surveying. We've got 2 laboratories available. I'm going to put those into ground combat. No. Construction and production. I think we need to continue to get that working. I'm going to actually go up to maintenance production. We'll get that on the way. We are terraforming this world, weren't we? Yes, we did, and we finished terraforming, in fact. So that means that we can begin to move colonists over to here, and you had quite a few resources: Gallicite, corundium, saurium, magnesium, a lot of really nice uranium, and so hopefully I can get the we can begin to colonize that. I'm not sure what our colony ships are doing. There might be an issue with that. But yeah, we'll see. The Lakara finished orders, which is fantastic news. So I'm going to tell the Lakara now to go through Tongwa and then begin a stabilization on the other side. Gas core reactors should be coming up here soon. Yeah, coming up here soon. I am going to open really quick here. I'm going to open up the Aurora calculator, and we're gonna do kind of prototype design. 10,000 ton escort ships, which will be basically destroyers, destroyer size / frigate size. And we're going to aim for a speed of 6,000 kilometers per second. We're going to aim for a range of 20 billion kilometers. If we have a look at the range of combat operations, so we're assuming we're looking at 12.5 billion kilometers. Which, if we design the vessels that would be capable of a range of, say, 25 billion kilometers, that would provide us with a overall radius from the core world, assuming no forward world, of all the way basically through here. So everything would be able to basically get most of the core world protected. So we're going to go for a 25 billion kilometer range. And we're going to go for Ion. Is going to be the tech we're going to be using. We're going to go for 2.5. We've got 60 HS engines. I believe we have composite available to us now. Not sure. Yes, we do have composite available. I'm not sure what our fuel efficiency is either. Our fuel efficiency is 0.7 liters per hour. Engine power per hour. So we're going to go for that. So that gives us a very efficient engine, but I am going to reduce this actually. So 25. So that would be a size 60 engine with a power boost of 1.6. Would require 1.3 million liters of fuel. That's a little bit too fuel hungry for my liking. Yeah, that's a little bit too fuel hungry for my liking. So I'm gonna try to reduce that. No, it's not possible. 45, 45. That's what that gets us. So we're using 4,300 for the fuel and the engines. One size 60 engines. Okay, so let's go with that for now. We may change that and change how we're going to design, but we'll go for an engine. Show next tech. I'm going to go for ion drive. I'm going to go for a 1.6 power boost with a size 60 HS engine. We're going to prototype that design, and then we're going to create that onto our vessel here. So we're going to create a new design, Hazara. We're going to add on our prototyped ion engine. There we go, single engine. Actually, what if we try 2 engines? It's less efficient. However, yeah, that's just less efficient. So we're going to go for 1 engine. I'm going to go for a deployment time of 12 months. Standard deployment time. We're going to go for an armor rating. Assuming an armor rating of at least 10 for a battleship. And assuming a strength. What was that? Transit warhead they were doing or something like that? We're going to go for an armor rating of 6 layers. Which. How much tonnage would that be? Let's say 1 engine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. So that's a little over 10%. Okay. So let me just see the exact 54%. 54. So we're spending about 13%. So what about 5 layers? We'll do 5 layers of armor. This is standard for the first few vessels. That's a costly engine, by the way. That engine's gonna cost a lot. We'll reuse the engines. This is 10,000 tons. We can reuse that on the larger ship. Assuming a 20 kiloton vessel, 30 kiloton maybe we can make it instead. That would make it easier in that regard. Okay, that's good. Command and control wise, we can add a main engineering and an auxiliary control. We're going to add a certain number of railguns. So I want at least 20% of the vessel to be railguns for point defense purposes. So 20% would be 2,000 tons. So that means that we can add, we should be able to add about, what would that be? 15 guns. So 1, 2, 3 guns is 450, 6 is 900. So we can add 12. So we'll add 12 guns, so that would be 1,800. 13 guns for 1,950 tons. Then I'm going to add in, so that's pretty good. So 13 guns. So assuming I'll sort the speed out. We'll figure out how many weapons this actually could get. So beam fire control. Fire control speed rating is not great, is it? System fire control systems, 3,000 kilometers per second. After you're done with that, I want you to add that to queue. And do we have a better sensors and fire control person? No, we do not. That's unfortunate. So with that, considering that, I'm going to show next tech. I'm going to put you down to 48,000 kilometers per second. So we're going to assume a speed of 6,000 kilometers per second. And then we're going to go for a range of 2x. I guess it's 96,000. So that means beam fire control is going to be a total of 150 tons. So there we go. So assuming a tracking speed of 6,000 kilometers per second with a range of 10,000 against a missile speed of 30,000. Show bands. That gets us an 18% chance to hit. So let's do a little bit of a calculation here on how many missiles this would actually be able to destroy. So we're going to go 100, and we need to go 13 times 4, which is going to be 52. Pretty true. Yeah, 52. 52 times 1 is 52. So that's the number of shots times base hit chance. Then we need to times that by our actual hit chance, so that's 0.18. So that means that this ship would be able to destroy 9.36 missiles every 5 seconds. That's pretty damn good. I'm happy with that. So we're gonna go 13 guns on this. Then we'll need a power plant for those. I'm gonna show next tech for this. Gas-cooled reactor. We're going to need a total power, so 3 per gun. So we're actually going to need a power of 39, I believe. 39 should be the amount we need, which is actually a lot of power when you consider. We're going to spend quite a bit of the tonnage on that. So we're going to go for a 200-ton power plant, 4HS gas-cooled reactor. And then we're going to slap that on here. There we go. And the next thing we need to do is add in fuel. So I haven't done that yet. We need to add quite a bit of fuel in, and that's going to bring our tonnage up quite substantially. So we need for a large 1, 2, 3. There we go. Still under that tonnage limit, which is really, really nice because we're aiming for about 10,000 tons here. We need to add in sensors. So we're going to go for active sensors. We need to do a resolution 1 sensor. So that will give us a 430,000 kilometer range radius. We know our enemy missiles are size 6, so we can assume that will be our effective range. 1 million kilometers, about 1 million kilometers, I think is more than enough. So we're going to go for an active on that. And then for larger vessels, so we're going to look at, I'm going to tune it for 10,000 ton vessels. What kind of ship sizes are we looking at? So we don't know. I'm gonna tune for 10,000 tons on the resolution instead of the standard 5,000 tons, just because that's usually bigger is where we get to. And then I'm going to go. We don't need as big a sensor for this, so I'm just gonna go for a 2.5 size sensor. So we're gonna prototype that. That gives us a 44 million kilometer range, and then we're gonna add both of those sensors in. The next thing that we need to do is a few things. First thing is we're going to need to add in maintenance, because that's a big point of contention. This one I have to worry about is guns failing, because it's going to be utilizing a very effective thing known as point defense, final defense fire, which doesn't require repairs. So we're going to go engineering spaces. So that gives us a 2% IFR. I'm pretty happy with that, but we don't have enough for a max repair. So, I am going to put in some maintenance storage. So we're going to put in a maintenance storage bay. That gets us about 1,000 MSP, about 2-year maintenance life. Now we have about 600 tons remaining. I am actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually be a little bit inefficient, and I'm going to go for 2 engines on this. And the hope with 2 engines is that we can, 1, reduce the research cost, and we can, 2, add redundancy where needed, which is going to be very, very valuable to us. So we're going to go for size 37 engines, and we're going to need a power boost of 1.3. So we're going to go for a power boost of 1.3, which is going to give us an odd number of speed, but it should be fine either way. Oh, I forgot. I need to do show next tech. So we're going to go for 1.3, 0.7 liters, please, and 37 HS for the engine size. So that gives us 600 EP per engine. So that does give us an extra like 13 kilometers per second of speed. Nothing consequential. That's like slower than Mars goes in difference. So 1, 2. It does mean we're a little bit over, but because our engines are a lot less costly to repair, I'm going to be able to take away that maintenance storage. So that's going to bring us down by a decent margin. And then the next thing that I'm going to try and bring down is going to be that fuel, because we don't need as much. We're going to be saying about 1 million liters. And I'm going to add, I think, just a little bit more of maintenance storage. I want a 2% IFR. So IFR is incremental repair rate per construction cycle. So that is important to know. 13 railguns. There isn't much more we can add. We can add a 14th railgun potentially, which might push us at 10 missiles destroyed per 5 seconds, which would be pretty nice. So I'm going to actually remove some of the fuel here. Fuel. Then we're going to put in some fighter fuel. So that gives us a total range of 24.6 billion kilometers, or 47 days of power, 6,000 kilometers per second of speed, IFR of 2.0, and we're 10,000 tons. We have 14 guns. So if we do the calculator again, if I bring up my the Windows calculator. So assuming total shots is going to be 56. 56 times 0.18. We get a total amount of missiles destroyed, enemy missiles destroyed, of 10 per ship. I'm going to think then that we're going to probably need 4 of these vessels if we want to take on the enemy. We don't know the exact number of their salvos, but that is a pretty effective ship in terms of being able to properly counter enemy missiles in many regards. I'm pretty happy with it. It's got 300 crew. The cost is a little high. I'm not going to lie. And if we look at the cost breakdown, that's 600 gallicite. That's a lot. That's going to be 2,400 gallicite to order 4 of these vessels. We also need to up our reactor just a little bit, because our reactor isn't actually enough for this. So show next tech. Gas-cooled reactor, please. And we're going to need a size 4.01, probably. Yeah, there we go. 1.15. And we can just add the reactor in. There we go. I'm gonna get rid of the fighter storages. There we go, and that gives us 24.4 billion kilometers, and that gives us everything that I would realistically want. So that's a nice vessel, and I think that is going to work out for us, realistically speaking. The next thing is we have to design vessels that can actually shoot back, because obviously these can't, and so that is the main negative there. But I think we've come up with these plans. We've got this vessel on the way. I'm going to give it a. I think the name's fine, but I am going to sort its class out. I'm going to give it the class S name Destroyer Escort. And yeah, I think I'm gonna leave the episode there. I know it's short. I've been short and sporadic uploads, but at least I'm getting uploads out. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe. Really does help me out. Thank you to all the members who have stuck around. By the way, consider joining the Discord if you are wanting to get updates on when videos will be out. And also consider becoming a member, as it really does help me out and motivate me to continue to do episodes. More videos on the way, and a new series that I've got in the works will be on the way soon as well. Leave your thoughts in the comments below on the current episode. See you guys next time. Bye bye.